Good afternoon. Today I'm going to do a little bit of wormhole exploration. Given that I'm a complete noob, and this is not scripted or planned, I'm going to shoot it and then upload it. I don't know what's going to happen, so we will find out together. So first things first, if you're a noob and you want to do some exploration, you can find data and relic sites in high-sec. You can find data and relic sites in low-sec or null-sec. And you can also go to wormhole space. Today we're going to focus on wormhole space. I've seemed to have the best luck there in the last couple of days that I've been playing around with it, so we'll try that. The premise is pretty much the same for all of them, but the fits for the ships are a little different. This ship that I'm going to be using today is a Heron, and this is the fit. You can also use a magnate. It's the same premise, just a little bit different execution. This one, the Heron, for example, that I'm going to use, you're going to have a core probe launcher with some scanner probes. You're going to want to equip a cloaking device for low-sec, null-sec, or wormhole space. That is extremely helpful. And then a salvager, because hey, you got a third high slot, might as well put something in there that maybe you'll get some use out of. As far as mids, I have a scan rangefinding array, which I'm actually training the skill I need for it right now, so it's offline, but that helps with my scanning, make it a little bit more efficient. A cargo scanner, Relic Analyzer, Data Analyzer, Microwarpdrive, 2 warp core stabs, just in case I want to try to get away from somebody. On the magnate, this fit would be a little different. You lose a mid slot, so I usually just kick out the cargo scanner. Actually, I think you only have 3 mid slots, so no range finding, no cargo scanner, just these 3 here. But you gain 2 extra lows, and so in the magnate, like for the low sec, null sec, I run with 4 warp core stabilizers because I'm more apt to run into other people while I'm flying around out there. Wormhole spaces seem to be pretty empty so far, and I've had good luck seeing other ships as I enter and then deciding whether or not I want to risk it or just fly away. Whereas in low sec or null sec, you're pretty much going to be under the gun all the time. Local is up so people can see when you enter the system, and in wormhole space there is no local. Over here you can't see anybody else. You have to see them on your D scanner. So anyway, that's just the way I run. Not right, not wrong. I'm a total noob. I could be way off base, but it's how I've been running, and I've had good luck. But then for rigs, these 2 gravity capacitors, they just help with my scanning as well. Just try to make the scanning is the suckiest part. So anything you can do to make the scanning easier, that's what I'm doing. Cool. So I am parked right now in Rezbroko, which is a low-sec system. Happens to be where our forward operating base is for my faction warfare, and I knew I was going to start here today, so I went ahead and parked my ass in this station until I was ready to go. It also comes in handy, rather. And another thing you should be practicing that I found extremely helpful is if you're going to be exploring kind of the same sites over and over again, you're going to want to kind of map out the systems you're going to be in. So like Rezbroko, for instance, I already have 2 safe spots bookmarked. There's a pirate base here that I want to try to avoid. I also can fly to it and get free repairs if there's not enemies on the radar. Our forward operating base, and then a gate aligned warp. So when I land on the Rezbroko side of the gate, which is in low sec, I can warp straight off the gate and avoid getting caught. So just an example of, this is a system I'm in quite a bit because of faction warfare. Because of that, I've got some helpful bookmarks. The next system back is horror. I've got some bookmarks there as well. Next system in is Hadizoko. I've got some bookmarks up there as well, and that's mostly from faction warfaring. But if you're going to be exploring and you're going to be in the same sites over and over again, I would really recommend going out ahead of time in your cloaky ship and presetting some bookmarks. Just helps you get around faster. Gives you a little peace of mind if you need to bug out. You've got some places you can warp to real quick if you need to catch a breather and figure out what your next moves are. Anyway, enough talking, more action, right? Shut up and fly. So we're going to go ahead and undock. Yes, I know I can't use one of my modules. Alright, undocking. Now I am in a PvP area, so I need to be on my toes a little bit. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to warp to my first safe location. This is going to get me out of the way. It's going to get me away from everybody else. It's going to give me a little bit of breathing room so that no one can just warp right down on top of me. It's a safe spot, right? That's what a safe spot is. So I'm going to warp to my safe spot. Once we're out here in the safe spot, I'm going to flip over to my PvP tab. That'll help me with my D-scan. Click right now, and you can see there's a Stratios on D-scan. So 14.3 AU. So if I flip this over, what am I in range of? I'm actually in range of this gate. So that is probably gate traffic. So if I look at this gate and I lower my scope down, nope, it's not there. Let's go to Pod Saver. What else? Where else could he be? Just zoom out. Just make sure. I'm going to go through here just for a second. He was, let's see. Oh, he's off D-scans. Okay, cool. So D-scan is clear right now. I'm going to go ahead and launch my probes. Once my probes are launched, I'm going to cloak up. Alright, probes are launched and you can see I am in cloak. So we're going to go ahead and start the scanning. So we flip over to the probe scanner. You can see this is an active faction warfare site, so there's a bunch of outposts, a bunch of plexes open, but then there's 2 cosmic signatures. That's what we're going to be looking for. Again, I haven't pre-scanned this, so for better or worse, I know this might be a little boring. So we're going to click over here to the solar system map. I'm going to get my probes ready to go, and then just go ahead and click, shift click, ignore, get those off there. So now you can see there are 2 red circles that we're going to want to look at. Damn, I'm right near on top of this one. So that one is this guy here. So why don't we just start there? So what I always do is click and then drag my mouse straight down to me. That flips the map all the way up on its edge. You'll know because you can't go any further than that. And then click on the box. Right click and drag. You're just manipulating the map, right? So since I can lock the map out in this direction, I start there, line myself up to the X, and then I'll flip this way until you see the arrows there, until they're pretty much lined up straight across. And then I do my vertical. Line the X up in the middle. One more time this way. Okay. Analyze. Analyzing. So I'm going to flip over here. I'm going to check D-scan. You want to make sure we keep checking D-scan just to make sure we're not caught unawares. It takes a couple of seconds to analyze. Alright, so cosmic signature, you see, so 13.1%. Let's get this centered, zoom in. Now see these little red dots? Those are the possible places that this cosmic signature might be, so there's more than one. Alright, so I'm going to take my little box here and like park its ass halfway between the two, flip it this way, that looks pretty good, and I'm just going to analyze again. We're trying to get down to just one of those little circles, get the percentage up a little bit. This probing thing, it's just drag and click and drag and click and drag and click. Okay, cool. So the one fell off, right? So 22%. Now it's just showing us this red one. So flip the map back up, bring our probes over, center them, flip it up. See how we're high now? So we bring it back down here, line her back up. One more time. %. Okay, that's better. So now what we're going to do is we're going to shrink up our probes a little bit. I'm going to recenter and analyze. Cool. Now you can see we've scanned it down successfully. We've got our little arrow here. We can warp right to it, but we're not going to. Now what we're going to do is, first thing we're going to do is we're going to save that location as Wormhole A entrance for Rasbroco. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and save that. It's our first wormhole. Now we're going to back this out. Remember, we still have this other one over here. Flip the map up on its edge, and we're going to go through the same process on this one. I'll go ahead and fast forward here and save us some time while I scan this down. Cheers. Okay, so we've scanned down the other site, found out it is a combat site. We're not interested in combat sites since I don't have any weapons. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to skip that one. So what we're going to do now is we're going to retract our probes. Sounds painful. And we're going to get out of the star map and do a couple of scans, make sure no one's about to lobotomize us. Okay, so now what you're going to want to do is turn off your cloak, reload your probes, and then we're going to warp to this wormhole. I usually warp to about 30 out just in case there's someone sitting right on it. Gives me a slight chance to warp off. So that's what we're going to do. So cloak off, reload probes, warp to 30. Now, I've got a notepad set up here that tells me some information about said wormholes. So we get that ready to go. Drop it down here so I can see. Still learning, right? So I don't have this stuff memorized, so notepad's my friend. Alright, D-scan, nobody on D-scan. So I'm going to right click on the wormhole, click show info. This wormhole is beginning to decay and probably won't last another day. So I look on my list here. That means this wormhole has between 24 and 4 hours left, right? And then it tells me down here that it has not had its stability significantly disrupted. That means it's not about to collapse because of mass that has moved through there. So that's alright. And then larger ships can pass through this wormhole. Now that's important to know. I'm going to go in this one, but it's important to know that because there might be some big ships in here. Cruisers and up, right? So you just want to be aware of what kind of wormhole you're entering. There are some that only frigates can fit into and destroyers, and then there's a medium, and there's a large. So this is a large, so I want to know that before I go in there. Now, I've already got this entrance bookmarked from the outside. What I'm going to want to do is click and jump. And away we go. and 30 away. I forgot. So because I warp 30 away, probably need to kick in my Microwarpdrive. Otherwise, I'm just going to be Sunday driving up to the wormhole and get blapped. Alright, here we go. Cool. So now we are in the wormhole. Gonna scan. PvP scan. Nothing on scanner. Okay, cool. Which way am I pointed? So I'm pointed that way. So I'm gonna go like this way and turn my Microwarpdrive on. And I'm gonna get away from the warp-in location. That way no one lands on top of me while I'm scanning this place down. Oh geez, lots of cosmic signatures. This will be good. Hopefully we can find something good. Alright, so we just go a little ways away, turn off your Microwarpdrive, kill your power here so you slow down. And then, before we get too far away, you're going to click back over. This is the wormhole. Well, there is a wormhole around here. Where the fuck did it go? There it is. Okay, here's my wormhole. Make sure, and I've done this multiple times, save the location. Wormhole, exit, get back into res. Alright, so we got that. I'm going to launch my probes, and I'm going to cloak up before I go on. That way I don't get blapped while I'm sitting here talking to myself like an idiot. Alright, so the reason you need to bookmark, a little fun fact, bookmark the exit. Okay. First time I tried doing some wormhole exploration, I scanned down a wormhole, right? Bookmarked the outside of it, went in and found a couple of relic sites. Had a lot of fun, made some money. Came back the next morning. Okay. So I had only been gone, 7 hours. I launched my probes, right? Oh, there they are. The stupid ass probes. Okay. So anyway, so I launched into a wormhole. I find some good relic sites. I scan them down. Did some good hacking type things. Got some loot. Went back and sold it at the station. Like, I'm living the dream. I'm living the dream as far as exploration goes. Next morning I wake up 7 hours later. And I think to myself, I already got that one bookmarked. I'll just go back to the same wormhole. So I go back to the same wormhole. Still there. I go in. There's nobody there. Scan down some more sites. Find some more loot. Right? Cool. So I'm all done. I've got $11 million worth of inventory in my cargo hold, and I decide, I've had enough. I've had enough fun for one go, and I'm gonna warp out. So I go to warp out. My warp exit bookmark, I didn't make one. So I had no way to get out of the wormhole. I was stuck in the wormhole. Now luckily I have a probe scanner. Some people switch ships, so they'll scan them down on one ship, and then they'll go into another ship to go into the wormhole. I'm not exactly sure why, but they do that. Bigger cargo hold. Maybe they want to mine gas or something. Anyway, like I said, I'm a noob. So I'm stuck in this wormhole, and I have to scan my way out. So you have to go all the way through the scanning process to find the exit, or a exit. And in my particular situation, what had happened is, while I was in the wormhole, the lifespan ended. It burnt out. So the wormhole exit that I scanned down and I found eventually, I was all excited. I'm going to leave the wormhole and I'll go back to the station. I scanned down the wormhole exit, went to it, jumped through, and I was 47 jumps away from my home station. 47 jumps. I was as far away on the map as I could possibly get. I'm in a faction warfare corp, and so not only was I as far away as possible in null sec, right, in low sec. I was like, but I also was dead on in enemy territory. So I was war flagged. I was a war target. So it took me half an hour of running away from the Navy and flying back to get back to Heck. It was not fun. So I learned two things. First is I made this little breakdown here. So before I go into our wormhole, I can cross-reference and see if it's going to end. If it's going to end in less than 4 hours, I don't go in it. Not worth it, right? And then when I do go in one, always, I make sure that I bookmark the exit. So I do not want to ever have to jump 47 times to get home again, right? So just a little pro tip. All right, cool. I'm going to fast forward until I can get one of these signatures scanned down. All right, success. So we scanned down a data site, this Forgotten Frontier Quarantine Outpost, blah, 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 blah. So I'm going to go ahead and recall my probes. And then kind of the same process. So you check D-scan, right? So no one else is in here, or else they're cloaked. I mean, you don't know, but anyway, it's always a chance. I'm going to turn off cloak, reload my probes. Then I'm going to warp to this outpost, and we're going to go from there. All right, here we go. Oh shit. And that is why we bookmark the exit. We are not equipped to fight. That data site is full of drones. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to warp away. So a perfect example right there of why bookmarks are so helpful. No harm, no foul. Okay, let me see if I can scan down another one real quick. Okay, let's try this one more time. This is an unsecured one, so according to Google Foo, there shouldn't be anybody here to shoot at us. So same thing, cloak off, reload, make sure I don't have anybody breathing down my neck, warp in. Unsecured, I like that word. It just makes me feel nice. Alright, so I warp in. Damn! Alright, well. I wonder if it's because it's a large wormhole. Anyway, we're going to warp out. And at least you got to see how to locate a wormhole, how to scan it down, bookmarking, going in the wormhole with the cloak, all of that fun stuff, what the different stages mean, and then how to scan down data sites and then avoid getting your ass shot off. Not everything that I was hoping to get today, but you know, that's kind of what happens when we do these quote-unquote live and unscripted. So I think there was still some good stuff in here. Thanks for paying attention, listening here. I appreciate it. And if any of the information helps you and you're able to get some fat loot, feel free to send a couple ISK my way. Angyel Beerens in game. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, hit like, leave some comments. If I messed anything up, let me know. Signing out. Thanks.